want to know. Oh,
Sorry about that.
That's
I just remembered.
Again,
Sorry.
thank you. I want to note that I am an iPhone user, so a little bit of a kind of public service announcement there. I'm an iPhone user. However, I will identify, but I will not be able to demonstrate or be able to answer questions regarding Android options, right? But many of the apps I'm going to talk about today are the same on both devices. So we will demonstrate one app today, and then we will also describe several others. There are many apps that are useful for the visually impaired. We will cover what we can in the limited time we have. I've put the apps in order of what I believe to be broadest appeal. But we do invite you to come to one of our resource centers to learn more about the apps I'm going to talk about today, as well as additional apps that may be available for your particular need. At the end of the talk, we will welcome suggestions from participants because, while Tara, Joe, and I and the other resource navigators share much of what we like, we learn so much from all of you as well. I'm constantly learning about new tricks and apps and devices, from some of you. So we welcome that at the end. Tara and Joe will have a list of the apps that we're going to talk about and some that we don't get to because of time. They will also have information about a similar but longer presentation that I will be giving next Monday for the Vienna VIP group that will also be on Zoom at 2 p.m. So if you're interested, this is a preview. If you want to hear more, please log in and join us on Monday. All right, so with that, I'm going to jump right into some of the apps. The first app I want to share with everybody comes standard and preloaded on all iPhones, and it is a magnifier app. There is an Android option as well that our navigator, Edlin, who is our Android expert, has recommended, and it is called Magnifier Plus Flashlight, and it's by a developer called App2U. That's capital A, lowercase pp, the number 2, uppercase U, and that's the Android app. The app on the iPhone looks like a traditional round magnifying glass, and it has a plus sign in the middle of it. I'm going to hold up my phone and point to it. The icon is small, so you may or may not be able to see it, but those of you who have video may be able to see what it looks like. My finger is pointing to it. It's in the upper left corner of my phone. You can find it, it's sometimes buried. So you can find it by, if you take one finger, you swipe down on your screen, you can search, and you can search for magnifier. Once you've got it, it can be added to your home screen. We can certainly help you with that at one of the resource centers. When you open it up, it basically uses the camera of your phone to turn your phone into a handheld video magnifier. So for those of you who are familiar with the handheld Ruby video magnifier as an example, much of that functionality is available to you on your cell phone. And over the years, as our phone cameras have improved, it's gotten pretty darn good. This is what I use when I am out and about and I need a video magnifier. When you open it up, you can magnify in and out in a live mode. You can also snap a picture so that you can then, I'll take a picture of something so you can kind of see it, zoom in, and you can, you can move your camera, your screen closer to your eyes and be able to zoom in and out. This is how I read a menu at a restaurant as an example. There are modifications you can make to the image as well, just like on a video magnifier. You can increase and decrease the brightness. You can increase and decrease the contrast. You can employ the flashlight on the phone to increase the light that's being that's on the image that you're magnifying. It also has built-in filters. So for those of you who, for example, prefer white text on a black background, there is a filter that allows you to do that. There are many filters with all kinds of color options available for your use. Additionally, if you happen to have a pro model of the iPhone, which you can tell if you've got the pro model because your camera has 3 lenses. If you have a pro model, there's additional functionality that can do things like convert text to speech, can describe an image for you, can help you find things like a door and things like that. So, but you have to have the pro model for that. The only other thing I will mention about the magnifier, and I mention it only if you think you're going to use it and you are also in the market for a new phone anyway. The image quality on the iPhone Pros is a little bit better than it is on the standard iPhones because of the camera quality. All right. So that is all I have to say about the magnifier app. Again, free, built-in, part of the Apple operating system. And I apologize if you hear scratching. My dog is next to me and he's making himself comfortable. So apologize if you hear that. The next app that I want to tell you about helps with the functionality of using your phone or your tablet. As you probably know, if you use these devices, the keyboards that come standard on our devices are sometimes hard to use because they are hard to see. So this app that I'm going to show you is called Big Keys. Now, the one I'm going to show you is Apple only. It is not free. It is a $3.99 per month subscription. So it does cost $3.99 a month. Our Android navigator, Edlin, has shared with me an option for the Android, which is actually free, and it's called Big Classic Keyboard, and it's put out by a company called Apps Technologies. So that's an Android alternative. I'm going to show you what it looks like on both the phone and the iPad, for those of you who have video up. I have set the settings to my liking. So there are lots of different options to get the keyboard to look the way you'd like it. But I don't know if Tara, let me know if my phone is or iPad is in a bad place.
No,
but
that's good.
Hopefully you can see that the keyboard is bigger than the standard keyboard. I've got white on black because that's my preference. I also have color surrounding each key. That is optional. I picked green, but there are many options. I'm going to also show it to you on the iPad so you can see it a little bit bigger. Here it is on my iPad. So as you can see, it's just a little bit easier to see and use than the traditional or the standard, I shouldn't say, keyboard that comes, with on our devices. So that's all I have to say about that app. The next app I want to share with you is where we're going to do some demonstrations. If there's one single app that many of us really feel is got the broadest usage and provides the most help to the community, for the blind and low vision community, it's an app called Seeing AI. So seeing, like you're seeing, AI for artificial intelligence. This is a free text-to-speech app from Microsoft, and it's available on both Apple and Android. It uses the phone's camera to provide audio reading and other descriptive assistance for a variety of tasks. So I'm going to demonstrate some of those tasks right now for you. And I'm not demonstrating everything it does. I have picked the 4 what they call channels that I think are the most useful, but it does other things as well. Okay. So before I open it, because it's going to start talking, let me show you, the app looks like, I don't know if you can see my phone. It is a blue icon and it's got kind of a white graphic of an eyeball, of an eye in the middle of it. And again, it's called Seeing AI.
Rachel, it's very, because of the glare from your monitor, it doesn't show well. So it's good that you are describing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do the best we can. But thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah.
All right. So I am going to open it. Now, when you open Seeing AI for the first time, it does
Product.
it defaults to a channel called short text, which is the first channel I'm going to show you today. I want to tell you that when you first open the app, it's going to drive you a little bit crazy because short text, as you're going to see in a moment, reads everything within the camera lens, and it jumps around. And so, but you can reorder the lenses, which I have done on my own phone so that it doesn't drive me crazy every time I open it. Short text is very good for reading just what the name it tells you, short text. So I'm going to demonstrate it for you right now on a business card, but it's really good for things like a business card, reading a price tag, reading a sign, reading like a street sign or a sign on a wall or an address number, or any of those types of things where you just want a very quick reading out to you of what is behind the camera. So I'm gonna, as soon as I hit it, it's gonna start talking. So here we go. The icon for this channel, it looks like a big and a small T. I'm gonna click it.
Short text.
You can hear it.
Rachel Schreiman, low vision resource, navigator and advocate. iVerituals at gmail.com 001 061 4444. Messages only.
Okay, it did a pretty good job. It called the phone number 001 instead
Got
of
it.
301. I'm going to show you. This is my card. So this is what it read. Okay, so this is a card that I give out when I am in the office with Dr. Alibi or meeting with clients at the resource center. Okay, so that's what short text does. The next thing I want to show you is the document reader, and this is where this app really does a great job. So I'm going to show you what it's going to read. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want the app to do that. But this is a document. It's a 2-page document, front and back. It's very small print, or standard print, I suppose. But for all of us with low vision, it's very small print. So I am going to now open the document reader, which I'm not going to even bother trying to show you what that looks like because it sounds like you really can't see my screen well anyway, but here we go. I'm going to open the document reader. Now, the document reader, if it can find the edges of a document, takes that picture automatically. If it cannot, and you can tell that it's in the screen, you can override it. So here we go.
Document. No edges visible.
So I'm going to raise it.
Hold steady. Processing.
So it found the edges and it's taking a picture and processing it. Okay, so page 1 is, hold on, I can tell this didn't do a great job. Let me do it again.
Top edge not visible. Hold steady. Processing.
Okay, now it has the option to add the second page
That
as well.
page.
So I'm gonna add a second page.
Bottom right corner not visible. Hold steady.
So you can hear it guided me as to which edges of the page it couldn't find. And again, if it's an odd shaped something that you're trying to read, or there's a lot of other stuff on the, you're trying to do this on something that's maybe on a wall that it's hard to get the edge of it because there's a frame or something like that, you can override that just with the touch, just by touching the screen. So, all right. So now I've got this document in and ready to go. I do want to show you, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but you can visually see the text on the phone screen, and it defaults to whatever your text settings on your phone are. So I have maximized the font size for this presentation on my phone. It's a little bigger than what I normally use, but I want you to be able to, if you can see it, you'll be able to see that the text of this document is viewable on the screen. So if you don't want it to read out loud, you can read it yourself. And for those of you who have video and can see, you can get a sense, if you're not already using large text, just how big the text on an iPhone can get. This may or may not be sufficient for you based on your level of vision loss. So it'll give you a sense of whether larger font on your phone would be useful or not. All right, so now it's on, it's loaded in. The first thing I'm going to show you is this will read this document to me top to bottom all the way through. I'm going to stop it because it's a long document, but I want you to hear what it's going to do. So I'm going to hit play.
https://www.uris.org. Menu equals Prevention of Blindness Society of Metropolitan Washington Low Vision Programs. Each year, POB impacts more than 13,000 community members through our evidence-based programs for children and adults with low vision. These programs include.
So that was your POB plug, Tara.
Thank you.
So as you can tell, what this is I printed off the low vision programs website. You know, I went to the POB website and I printed off the page about low vision programs. So this is a long letter, long doc. It could be a letter document. It would read it top to bottom for me, no problem. But there's some AI functionality built into this app that I want to demonstrate for you. So once we've got the document in the app scanned and loaded, we can ask this app questions. So I'm going to open the AI, and it looks like it's a question to ask, and it almost looks like you're typing a text. I don't know if you can see that. Again, you can see my big keys keyboard. I'm going to dictate rather than type, but I could do either one. Oh, and I should mention that, you know, when you're using this out and about, if you have earbuds in, you're the only one, or, you know, you're the only one that's going to hear what's going on. So you can, you know, you can do this privately. All right, so I'm going to ask it a question. What is this document about? So I've sent it the question.
This document provides information about the Prevention of Blindness Society of Metropolitan Washington, POB, and its services, particularly focusing on their low vision programs and the Low Vision Resource Center. It details the various support services, resources, and programs available for individuals with low vision, including vision screenings, eyeglasses distributions, educational events, vision rehabilitation, and resource assistance. The document also provides contact information, appointment details, and addresses for their locations in Bethesda, MD, and Alexandria, VA. Additionally, it includes information on how to access and purchase low-tech visual aids and mentions that the center does not sell high-tech gadgets but can connect individuals with vendors.
Okay. So that was a pretty good, well, I don't know, Tara, who manages, you know, our low vision programs, could tell us how good a summary that was, but I think it was a pretty good summary of the document. We can ask it even more detailed questions. So I'm maybe interested in going to one of the centers. So here we go. Where are the centers located?
The centers are located at the following addresses. 1. Bethesda Office, 4948 St. Elmo Avenue, Suite 209, Bethesda, MD 20814. Hours, Monday, Friday, 11 a.m. 5 p.m. Appointments, Thursday, Friday, 11 a.m. 5 p.m. No walk-ins accepted. 2. Alexandria Office, 105 S. Alfred Street, Alexandria, VA 22314. Hours, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Mondays, 10 a.m. 5 p.m. No walk-ins accepted.
Okay, last question I'm going to ask it. Is there a phone number to call?
Yes, you can call the Information and Resource Hotline at 301-951-4444 to speak directly with a resource navigator, make an appointment, or get more information about the services offered.
Okay, so I did not pre-program any of that. That was the app scanning this 2-page document and allowing me to ask it questions about it. So it's what I like to call AI for good, right? We keep hearing in the news all the scary dangers of AI, but this is a usage that can be very helpful to those of us with low vision. All right, the next channel I want to show you is there is a barcode scanner. I use this very frequently when I'm out shopping. You could also use it in your own home if you're having trouble telling the difference, say, between a can of peas and a can of green beans, or what a spice, a spice that you wanted to use. I one time accidentally used paprika instead of cinnamon in a recipe, and the result was not very flavorful and not very tasty. So, it could avoid some of those things. So I'm going to demonstrate this on a product. I've used it, example, in stores. I might be able to find the brand of lotion I like as an example, but I can't tell which one has sunscreen in it. So rather than take out a magnifier and try to read every label, I can very quickly just start pulling them off the shelf, scan the barcode, and it will tell me what it is. So here is a demonstration of the barcode scanner. So it'll even help you find the barcode if you can't find it. So I happen to know that this is on the bottom of the box, but I could scan around the box till it found it. Here we go.
Near East Rice Pilaf Mix Original.
I don't know if you heard that. It said Near East Rice Pilaf Mix Original. If the manufacturer has provided detailed product information, and this is just pulling from the same list that a lot of other technologies like Orcam or anyone else uses for a barcode scanner. So it will pull whatever public information is out there on this barcode, which I'm going to demo now because it has more information. I'm going to click more information. And again, it's in my big font. If you can see this, I don't know if you can see this. we're not going to listen to all of it, but I'm going to play you what information is available on this product.
Near East Rice Pilaf Mix Original. Near East Original Mix Rice Pilaf. Per serving 190 calories, 0 grams sat fat, 0% DV, 780 milligrams sodium, 32% DV, 0 grams sugars. Directions, microwave directions 1.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. So, anything that's allowed, but again, it's going to read from top to bottom. So you got to listen to all the stuff. AI is built in here too. So I'm going to ask it a question. Here we go. What are the stovetop cooking directions?
The stovetop cooking directions for Near East Rice Pilaf Mix Original are as follows. 1. In a medium saucepan, bring 1 3/4 cups of water and 1 tablespoon of butter or olive oil just to a boil. 2. Stir in the rice and contents of the spice sack. Return to...
Okay, I'm stopping it because we don't need to hear all of that. So you can see that can be used that way as well. Now, the AI was recently added to the barcode scanner, but if, say, the information that you want about a product is not available in the public information, you can use the document scanner that we talked about before to scan a picture and ask it questions, which is what I did previously with a box of rice. I just scanned, I see well enough that I can tell, where there's writing. I took a picture and then I asked it questions, how many calories, what are the ingredients, what are the cooking instructions, things like that. So it even has information. We tested this in the office one day when I was working with a client who was curious. We had a box of cereal, and she said, "Is it gluten-free?" I said, "I don't know, let's ask." And we said, "Is this product gluten-free?" And it came back and said, "There's no information about it being gluten-free, but here are some of the ingredients." So it knew enough about that to tell us that, it didn't say it was gluten-free, and there were items listed that she said, "Oh yeah, if that's in there, it's not gluten-free." So that's the last thing I want to show you that Seeing AI does that's, I think, super helpful, is it has a handwriting. It'll read handwriting. So I wrote a little note. Now I did this in a low vision bold pen in kind of large print so that you could hopefully see in my camera what it was reading. But I've used this on a birthday card that someone sent to me, just writing with a regular ballpoint pen that there was no way I could read, and it did beautifully. And I've intentionally on this note used a combination of script and print to so you can see that it handles both. So we're going to go back. I'm going to, here's the,
Handwriting, preview,
so you do have to touch the screen on this one.
processing. I hope you are enjoying this presentation and are keeping cool on this hot Tuesday afternoon.
Okay. And that is what I wrote. So that is Seeing AI. And with that, I'm going to stop for a moment and ask Tara, timing wise, do we have time to describe a couple more apps, or are we
Yes.
at the limit?
Yes, it's 1:29 now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's the only demo I'm going to do, but I have some other apps that I find useful, and I'm going to just start describing them. And Tara, please feel free to stop me when I have used too much time. And the rest of you just know that there's so many great apps. And you can, like I said before, you can come into one of our low vision resource centers and work with any of us, and we'd be happy to help you. And please also feel free to join the VIP meeting on Monday if you're available on Zoom. Tara and Joe, I will give them the information that they can share with you, and where we'll have a little bit more time, so we might be able to cover, well, we will be able to cover more apps. All right.
And just to add, this meeting is being recorded, so you can go back to it at your pace whenever you want to.
Yeah.
We
And
will, yeah, we
Tara-
will share it. We will share it tomorrow, and it will be on the POB YouTube channel as well.
Perfect. And Tara did remind me to try to talk slowly. I tend to get excited and get ahead of myself, so hopefully I haven't gone too fast for people. But in any case, the next app that I want to share with you is called Be My Eyes. This is a free app, and it's available on both Apple and Android. It uses the phone's camera to allow the user to get assistance from either a volunteer, your own group, or a long list of companies and organizations that it has in its service directory. Okay, so here's how it works. When you open the app, the first thing you're going to be offered is the option to call a volunteer. I want to give a disclaimer here and let you all know that these truly are volunteers that are giving their time to assist blind and low vision users of the app. They are not specially trained in low vision and blindness skills. They are not background checked. So you use this for things that aren't going to put your personal safety or your personal information at risk. So I just give that caveat. I'll give you an example of how I have used this many times. I will use Be My Eyes at the grocery store when I am trying to buy something like a dairy product that has an expiration date. Yogurt is the perfect example. So when I pull a carton of yogurt out of the case at the grocery store, more often than not, I can't even find the expiration date, much less read the expiration date. So I will open Be My Eyes, and I will call a volunteer, and I will say, can you help me find and tell me the expiration date on this carton of yogurt? And they do so, and they do so beautifully. I've also used them to make sure that, for example, I'm buying vanilla and not banana yogurt, because I have made that mistake as well and have not been happy. So that's an example of how you might use that for a very safe usage. People have used it to read a price tag or describe a color of clothes. Does this shirt match this pair of pants? Things like that. So you can use your imagination on the things that you can use that for. The next option that was added to the app somewhat recently, which is a nice improvement, is you can set up your own your own group. So you can, if you have family members, friends, people that want to help you, that you enjoy getting help from, you can set up a group amongst yourselves. They will also have access to the app. Once you do that, you can, instead of selecting call a volunteer, you can select call my group. And you can have multiple groups, so you can pick your group. When you do so, everybody in your group will get an alert, and whoever answers that alert first, just like the volunteer had, has access to your cell phone camera. So you can get all the same help, but from a trusted acquaintance, family member or acquaintance. So it's safer if you've got that option. So the last thing that it has is a very, very broad service directory. And it's a lot of companies that have partnered with Be My Eyes to provide assistance. So when you call up the service directory, there's all kinds of categories. There's assistive technology, there's banking, there's a lot of banks on there. Beauty and grooming, there's certain, like Procter & Gamble, you could call about products, for example. And food and beverage, there's all just kinds of assistance. And there's technology assistance, technical assistance. This is where I've used it. So when you choose one of these service providers, and I'll give you an example of how I used it once, I had a Dell computer, and it was either Dell or Microsoft. I can't remember which I used, but in any case, I had a computer, an old computer. I booted it up. I was home alone. My husband wasn't here, and I got a fatal error at boot up so that none of my assistive technology was up and running. And I had no idea what to do. Again, I can't remember if I called Dell or I called Microsoft, but either way, I accessed them through the service directory. It took me directly to their help desk for their disability help desk. So it was people who are trained to help people with a variety of different disabilities, utilize their products. Apple, by the way, is on there as well. So they had access to my camera. I said, I don't know what's going on. I turned my computer on. There's a message on the screen, and they looked at it and they knew exactly what was wrong. They said it was for those of you who know anything about computers, it had something to do with the BIOS. I don't claim to understand what that means, but he told me exactly what to type on the keyboard. He said to me, I'm going to now take control with your permission. He did. He fixed my problem, and I was off and running. So those are the things that Be My Eyes can do. I want to briefly mention another app that has similar functionality, but a little bit different. And it is called Ira Explorer. Ira Explorer also is available for both Apple and Android. And this is the description straight from their website. Well, let me tell you, it's a subscription service, and pricing is dependent on minutes and some other features. So it's pricey. Prices range anywhere from $26 to up to $480 a month, depending on how much you're going to use it. But like Be My Eyes, it is a visual interpreting service. This is the part directly from their website. It's a visual interpreting service that provides on-demand visual information to people who are blind or have low vision. It is staffed by trained and background checked agents. So unlike Be My Eyes, where you have a volunteer, Ira pays the people who are helping you and trains them and runs background checks on them. So, it's a little bit safer. I still don't know that I would have them read a bank statement to me with my bank account information on it, for example, but you can have a little bit more comfort in terms of who you're talking to. Users do pay for minutes above the 5 minutes offered free per day. So you can download the app for free. You can use 5 minutes a day for free to see if you like it. The other thing that's really nice about the Ira Explorer, so I would encourage you to download it even if you're not going to subscribe, is there are some companies and organizations such as Target, Wegmans, Starbucks, Bank of America, and the Smithsonian museums that they pay Ira to provide the service in their locations. And also for some of their websites. And there are, when you go into the app, you can see the free access, they're called access points. You can see the free access points near you, and you can also see the free access points available online as well. So I've used Aira in Target and Wegmans, and it's great. You know, you can be in Target and you have no limit on the time while you're in Target. So you could walk around with your camera up saying, I'm looking, you know, can you read me the aisle description so you know what aisle to go down? Can you help me find something on the shelf? And you're not paying for the minutes for that. So that's great. The other place it is offered for free are some airports and train stations. Now, unfortunately, Dulles and National Airport do not provide Aira for free, but BWI does, and many airports around the country do, so as you're traveling. So when an airport participates with Aira Explorer, the staff, the Aira staff member that you're talking to has access to airport information such as maps, restaurants, other services, and you know, gate can help you find your gate. So they can help you with any number of things in the airport, everything from helping you read the display to let you know what gate your flight is at, to, you know, if your flight's running on time. They can help you navigate the security lines if it's confusing, you know, which line should I get into if I have TSA pre-check, for example. Now, of course, you can always get assistance from airport staff that will put you, you know, in a wheelchair and get you through all this as well. But if you want to do this independently, you can use it for that. So they can help you find counters, gate numbers, an agent to ask a question of, you know, anything that you could do through the camera. They can kind of be your eyes, but it's Aira, you know, within the airport. And Be My Eyes can do that too, but they don't have, which is free, in an airport that's not subscribing, but they won't have access to the airport data, as an example. The last thing I want to mention about Aira that might be very useful for people is they do have a partnership with Lyft. Now, this is not free, so Lyft does not pay for this. You would be using the minutes that you subscribe for. But if you use Aira with Lyft, you can link your Lyft account in the app. And so then instead of opening the Lyft app to order a ride somewhere, you would do it through the Aira app, and you would get an Aira agent who would book your ride for you. You would tell them, you know, where you want to go. They would confirm the location where you are based on what Lyft is showing. And I know you're probably already done, Tara. I'm almost done.
Yeah.
And then they will also, while you're on the phone with them, monitor your ride. So they'll tell you your car is 3 minutes away, it's 2 minutes away. And they can then help you find the car. They'll look at the license plate for you. They can help you find, you know, that blue Toyota Camry license plate, whatever. So very useful if you use Lyft and have trouble navigating the app. But again, you're using paid minutes to do that. So with that, I have other apps as well, but we're going to stop there. And I turn it over to you, Tara.
Rachel, this was great. Thank you very much. I learned new things as well. To unmute yourselves, if you're using the iPhone, it's *6, or like an iPad, it's the old-fashioned mic that you can find on Zoom. For a PC, it's Alt-A, and for a Mac, is Command-Shift-A. And because we have many people on the call, so I'd really appreciate if you could keep your questions short, so Rachel can answer almost all of them. So we have Effie, who is raising her hand. Go ahead, Effie.
Question?
Thank you, Rachel and Tara. The question that I have is,
when you are trying to find the channels on, say, the Seeing AI, and if you can't see how they are, do you have to be in a voiceover environment? How do you find them?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Seeing AI does work with voiceover, and many voiceover users use Seeing AI. So you can use voiceover. In the Seeing AI app, the channels run along the bottom of the screen. And I mentioned that there are many channels. You have the ability within the app to not only reorder the channels, but also shut off channels that you don't want to use on a regular basis. When you do that, the icons do get bigger. That doesn't mean they're going to be big enough for you. So hopefully when you do that, the icons will be big enough for you to see. If they are not, a couple of things. You can, if you only are using a few of the channels, you can memorize what order they're on the bottom of the screen if you're not a voiceover user, so that you know what to touch. I will tell you that as great as Seeing AI is, one thing I don't think is perfect is some of the icons, especially the little caret to get it to read, and the little question mark that I used to use AI are too small. I think the developers may have kind of assumed that voiceover users are using this. However, the caret is always in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and the question mark is always in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. So it becomes personal of what you can see and you can't, but those are how we do that.
Now, the AI is only on the Pro models.
No. Seeing AI is available on all phones. What I discussed about turning text to speech is in the magnifier. So if you're using the built-in magnifier and you want to convert text to speech, that's what you need the Pro for. But no. Seeing AI works on any iPhone, any Android. You do not need the Pro model for it.
Thank you,
Okay, thank-
Effie. Okay, we'll go to Cappy. Cappy Morgan, do you have a question?
Yes, when you say I.
Oops, sorry. I think we lost Cappy.
Yeah, Kathy, we got your first two words and then you disappeared and you muted if you're still there.
Okay. Until Kathy comes back, any other questions for Rachel? Oh, she's back.
Okay.
Kathy, go ahead.
Ira Explorer. How do you spell Ira?
It's AIRA.
Perfect. Thank you. That's it.
Okay. Any other questions for Rachel?
Wow, I either confused everybody completely.
I
Are
think
people still on?
I think yeah, people are still on. Rita?
Yes, the question I have, the Seeing AI, when you do text to speech, the sample that came across today, are you able to regulate the rate of speed that it's?
Oh, thank you so much for asking that question. Yes, absolutely. There are settings in there where you can speed it up, slow it down. I probably should have slowed it down for this demonstration. I didn't even think about it. I've got it set where I like it. We certainly, if you are a long time audio listener, if you've ever heard people who use JAWS and it sounds like complete gibberish, you can get it as fast as you want, and you can also slow it down. You can control the volume, all of that. So yes. Thank you
And
for
can
asking
you-
that question.
Can
John-
you back up in any way? Say you're in a
Yes.
lengthy.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Janice, please go ahead.
Yeah, Rachel, you talked about scanning. And so back in the old days, to me, scanning was scanning a document, like on a glass top of a, machine. Is scanning considered to be taking a photo of something?
So you can now use the camera of your phone to scan a document. So that's exactly, when I said scanning, I wasn't putting it on my printer. I was doing exactly that. So seeing AI, I think that's when I used the term scan. It's using the camera. So seeing AI was taking a picture of whatever was in front of it, and it was kind of converting it to a scan. It may be that I shouldn't have used that terminology,
No,
but
because
then
it's
it's taking
used.
that
So
picture. Yeah, it's taking that picture and it's converting it to speech. But an app that I didn't get to that I use very frequently actually uses the term scan. It's an app that I use that allows you to bring in all kinds of different documents, and you can scan via the camera exactly that way, or you can pull
And
it into
so it's
workspace.
not a separate function on the camera. It's just taking
Correct.
a picture. Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Thank you.
Now, on your phone, if you want to use your phone to scan a document to like a PDF that you can then email or send to somebody, that is a function within the camera of app of the phone, but that's different. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
Rachel, do you want to mention which app is that?
Yes.
So people, yeah.
So this app, it is not a free app, but it is a great app. And come on Monday and I will talk about it. It's called Voice Dream. It's got a lot of great functionality. It is not free. I believe, I don't have my notes up now, but I believe it's like $50 a year. So as a subscription now, I bought it when it was a one-time fee of $25. I've had it a while, so I got a bargain. But it's a great app. If you want to hear more about it, either come see me at the Resource Center in Alexandria. Tara, I don't know if you use it and can show
Yes,
it.
I do as well.
Yeah,
I
or
can show
Tara can
people.
show it to
Yeah.
you in Bethesda, or if you come on Monday VIP, hopefully I'll have time to get to it.
Yeah. And as I mentioned before, if you need to know more about these apps, just give us a call at 301-951-4444. We can send you a list of the apps that Rachel mentioned today, or you can make an appointment in Bethesda or Alexandria, and we can go through these apps with you. And wait for the recording as well. Rachel, we have a few minutes left and we don't seem to have any questions from the audience.
So how about, does anybody in the audience have an app that they love that they want to share? Is that okay, Tara, or no?
Yeah, we have a few minutes left. So let's hear if anybody has an interesting app.
This is Shri.
Hi, Shri.
Of course, Shri. If I'd known you were on, I would have been nervous.
It's good we didn't know. Okay.
You did a great job. I did want to say that in the Be My Eyes AI app, there is the AI feature in there that recently got deployed, I guess maybe about 6 months ago, that I use all the time.
Yeah.
It's pretty much my go-to app for
Yeah,
that.
I'm going to mention Shri. Let me just mention something there for everyone on here. Shri is not only a voiceover user, but the voiceover user that taught most of us to use voiceover. So I will say Be My Eyes does the AI as well. However, it assumes voiceover usage. So when you use Be My Eyes and so like I said, you can call a volunteer. You can also use AI to do it yourself and only call a volunteer if the AI feedback isn't sufficient. However, it's visual on the screen. You could use, so if you're a voiceover reader, it's not a problem. It reads it to you. You could use the functionality on your phone that reads what's on your screen, that just reads you whatever's on your screen. You could use that to have it read to you, but it doesn't automatically return a verbal response like Seeing AI does. So that's, unless you know of functionality that I'm not aware of.
I know it keeps a written log that you can go backtrack it, but it does get removed when you leave the app.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's the only thing. If you're a voiceover user, that it's great because you can get the AI, and then if that's not sufficient for you, you can very quickly call a volunteer. But if you're not a voiceover user and you want it to read to you, I have not had success getting it to do that. Tara, I know you texted me the other day on this very question. I don't know if
Yeah.
you figured it out.
No, it didn't read it loudly. It did not.
But thank you, Shri.
Yeah, thank you, Shri. We have Janice.
Oh, one of my go-to apps is Lookout. I'm an Android user,
Mhm.
and it reads documents or labels, etc. It can find entrances and identify things in the room. But I like that a lot. But what I do want to try, what you said was I guess the document function is Seeing AI, where you can read a document that's on your phone, because a lot of the documents I read, it's like they're segmented. So it'll read a paragraph and it'll stop and you have to engage it again. And so I would like something that will continuously read something that's,
And-
an
yeah, no.
email or.
Oh, that's great. And Seeing AI did not cover all the channels. Seeing AI can also help identify things in the room as well. It can do color, it can read currency, it can
Right. So
describe faces. It has other stuff too but thank you for that. I've not used Lookout because I'm not an Android user. So
Right.
thank
I
you.
think they started
Yeah.
using it in iOS as well, but
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. Okay, we have who else? Just one second. And we had somebody on the chat says that they use @voice for text to speech. Thank you. I haven't heard of this app, but I will check it out as well. Effie, did you have an app that you use?
Yes, a navigation app that I use every morning when I walk a couple miles.
Mhm.
It's called Voice Vista, and I like it a lot. It's a replacement to the soundscaping, I think,
Mhm.
navigation app. And by the way, I want to make this comment that I'm very interested in navigation devices because I want to be able to travel freely.
Mhm.
And I would love if there is eventually a session of different navigation apps that people like, or
We will do that, Effie. That's a good
So,
idea.
Effie, thank you. Voice Vista was on my list, but I didn't get to it. I really like it too.
Yeah. No, we'll
was
have
on
a
my list.
separate navigation
Yeah.
presentation.
So
okay,
you.
we're looking.
yeah,
we're
I
looking
second
forward.
the recommendation.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Effie. I think we only have time for one more question. Kathy, did you want to say something?
I just want to say how wonderfully helpful this has been. This is our first exercise with you all, and I'm hungry for more. More questions will appear as I learn more, but thank you all, and we'll be in touch. And do give us the contact information for Monday.
We will
Great,
send
thank
you
you.
all the information. Thank you, everyone. Rachel, a big thank you to you. This was great. And again, the session is being recorded and we will send it out. Just give us 1 or 2 days and you will have the recorded session. Thank you all again and have a great evening, week, and summer ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.